Georgia Southern shaking hands, 58-54, and Mike Hughes just coming up big. I think the big thing for Hughes, Don, for me anyways, a big block shots and then 2 key three-pointers down the stretch.
Yeah, again, what we were talking about, Kenny, is that Hughes gives them a lot of athleticism and just playing up around the rim and then hitting those 2 threes. It's just so huge. The block, and then he comes back and hits the 3.
At one point, I remember you had said that they were 2 of 18 from three-point range. Would you ever thought they'd have a 4-point win after a performance like that?
No. I thought if they kept shooting threes, it was going to be difficult.
Right over here, Mike. Mike, first of all, I know it's pretty loud down here, but congratulations on a big win. How does this feel in front of a huge crowd like this?
It feels great. We just want the fans to come out every time and show support. We're going to put on a show for them and try to get the win.
You've had 3 large crowds leading up to this on Thursday nights, a huge Saturday night crowd. What's this one like tonight for you?
It's big. You know, it's the Battle of Georgia. Everybody want to be here. That's what everybody want to see.
Mike, I want to ask you, you guys were 2 of 18 from three-point range at one point. You got a big block shot, and then you knocked down 2 threes to earn our performance of the game. Talk about what you were able to do defensively and offensively.
Coach always say, stay with the plays, stay inside the lines, and don't worry about everything going on. So I just stayed with it, and I did good. So,
Mike, were you thinking of doing something special there on the breakaway?
Nah, nothing too special.
All right, Mike Hughes, congratulations. I know you got to get going. Thank you. Congratulations for a big win.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike.
So that was Mike Hughes for our performance of the game, presented to you by Honda. He's got to get into the locker room for a great time. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have a post-game show, more of our post-game show. The Eagles with a 58-54 win in the Sun Belt Conference to remain in first place. We'll be back.
Welcome back. Now, the Savannah Power Sports Center halftime show.
Well, it's not halftime. The game's over. Our post-game show. And Don, wow, I'm a little exhausted here. What a great basketball game we had, and what a second half we had, more importantly.
Yeah, it was slow going, but once we got there, it was pretty exciting. Georgia State controlled this game probably for 3/4 of the game. But about at the 10-minute mark, Georgia State was still ahead comfortably, 41-33. In a game like this, that's a big lead.
Well, I think what stuck out for me is R.J. Hunter and Ryan Harrell combined for 40 a game throughout the year on average. They only put up 29, and we really kept those guys in check for the most time, Georgia Southern.
Yeah, they did. A good defensive effort for Georgia Southern. They play good defense. They're very athletic, and showed it tonight again. They put on the effort that you would have expected from them.
Kyle Doyle there with a big basket, and then Angel Matias getting in. Finally, they were 2 of 18 at one point in three-point range, and then they started to heat up. Diamond hit one, and, Mike Hughes hit a couple of three-pointers. But back and forth we went, and a big block by Trent Wiedemann. He came up with a couple of those, and I think one of the biggest blocks was Mike Hughes earlier in that. But here's Mike Hughes, what he can do, and kicking it out. And Jelani Hewitt, while he struggled from the field, Jelani Hewitt did come up with a couple of, he was 2 of 9 from three-point range, but he hit a couple that really counted down the stretch, and back and forth. And that was the defensive play of the game, I think, and he kicked it up to Mike Hughes, who hit the big 3, Don.
Yeah, freshman.
A freshman playing like a senior tonight at Hanner Fieldhouse, no doubt about that. And Jelani Hewitt again, Trent Wiedemann mixing it around, and again, it's Hughes. That's why he was providing us with our performance of the game. Just came up big all the time and down the stretch when they needed it. The Eagles proved a lot. They just hit the shots when they needed them. How about the youngster Alsmiller coming through, and Jake Alsmiller in the books with
it's his only bucket.
His only basket, all right. And that was Angel Matias with authority, and he's one of my performances of the game, because I'll tell you what, he seems to come up, and the last couple of years, every time I come here, he does some phenomenal things as Angel Matias. We'll hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We will wrap things up when we come back here on the post-game show. When we come back, you're watching the WSAV Blitz Basketball Series. Welcome back to the post-game show right here on the WSAV Blitz Basketball Series. Georgia Southern with a 58-54 lead. Savannah Morning News writer Don Heath, yours truly, Ken Slatz, and head basketball coach Mark Byington joining us. And, Coach, first of all, defensively, I know you really harp on defense, and I got to tell you, Mike Hughes just came up with some big blocks, some big defense, and he triggered a lot for you tonight. The freshman sure didn't play like one.
Yeah, Mike Hughes is definitely not scared of the moment, and he's always been that way. He was that way in high school. When I recruited him, he always plays his best in the biggest games, and he made big shots, big steals. I like to make that dunk at the end of the game. That'd be even better. But him and Jake Osmer, 2 freshmen, made some huge plays for us today.
Mark, did this game go the way you thought it was going to go? I thought there was going to be a little more more scoring in the game.
Yeah, they're a very good defensive team, and that's what we hang our hat on right now. So both teams struggled early, had trouble getting in a rhythm, and we weren't ourselves early. And I kept wondering we were going to kind of, get our legs and kind of figure out the game. And it took a while, but at some point we did. But it was a grinded-out rivalry game. A lot of times they're like this.
Coaches, we checked out a couple highlights, a couple of big threes down the stretch. Don had pointed out at one point you were 2 of 18 from three-point range. You never pull that trigger from them, though, right? You let them fire whenever they want because we saw a lot of three-point shots go up.
Yeah, I'll believe in our guys. And so if they take the right shots, they shoot the right shots, I got total faith in it, and eventually they'll go down and make them. So they know that I got their back. If they miss it, I still got their back. If they make it, they got their back as well.
Head coach Mark Byington, congratulations on a huge win, staying in first place in the Sun Belt Conference.
All right, thank you, Ken.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll let Coach go. And Don, final thoughts here. We just have a few moments. First of all, a great home win. Anytime you win and protect your court, that's big. And this was definitely a big one against a great basketball team they beat.
Yeah, it seems like this team just continues to take steps up the ladder. And every game's a little bit bigger than the last one. They got another big one coming up on Saturday against Louisiana Monroe. But this is a nice. This will be a nice game to savor for about 24 hours.
24 hours where they get things going. Well, that is going to wrap things up. We'll be back with one more basketball game coming up on the 18th of February, and it will be the Armstrong State Pirates taking on the Lander University Bears, the finale of the WSAV Blitz Basketball Series. Once again, your final score, the Eagles with a win, 58-54 over the Georgia State Panthers. For my partner, Savannah Morning News Zone, Don Heath, I'm Ken Slatz. Good night from Statesboro.